Hello and welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly, an in-depth look at Cuesta athletics. I'm Peter Schuler, and today we will be breaking down the Cuesta's newest sport, beach volleyball, as well as track and field. And as a special treat, we will be joined at the end of the show by the head of Cuesta's foundation, Shannon Hill. Right now, but first on Cuesta Sports Monthly, it's beach volleyball, and we are here with Madelyn, Freeman, and Alexis Waltz. Madelyn, Alexis, welcome to Cuesta Sports Monthly. Brand new sport. How's it going out there on the beach?
I say it's going well so far. We're having a lot of fun, and definitely just a learning experience this year. You got anything to say?
Yeah, it's definitely different than indoor because, I think in indoor we kind of differentiate between back row or front row players, and now in beach we have to do everything. So a middle would only be hitting or blocking. Now we have to play defense, and I was a libero, and now I have to hit. So it's kind of have to find ways get a
strategy.
point. Yeah.
So there's the big difference. You don't have rotations or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to do a little bit of everything. You were a libero. You were
setter
yeah. or backcourt most of the time too. So how do those skills translate to the beach? I mean, you're not going to be up in the net. You're not going to be blocking, but that means you have to do a whole bunch of digging and a whole bunch of moving around.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think it would improve our indoor game because, there's a lot of different defenses, but one is when there's one blocker and one defender, so the defender is kind of defending the whole court. You kind of have to read the hitter and you kind of get better at determining where the ball is going to go.
So that's going to kind of help you in the fall, in the hard court.
And
yeah.
There's a lot more work to do in beach volleyball just because there's only two people on the court. So a lot of beach volleyball will help indoor players, so it'll be very good for next year especially too.
Now, do you think that, what's it like? I mean, it's got to be a big difference in speed in the sand and stuff like that. How, you guys just calves burning out there? Or how's it going?
Yeah, definitely the first 2 weeks we were struggling a little bit, but now we're definitely getting used to it. So yeah, it's been good though.
After a lot of conditioning, now we're used to it. It's still a lot slower in the sand.
Yes, can't jump as high.
Yeah.
Now, Cuesta's beach volleyball facility was designed in the 80s. It's been there for years, and it's been waiting for you guys to come out there as a team. Beach volleyball is really big here for a long time, and then it just never happened as a sport. When you see these other teams coming in now that have had it for a couple years, you kind of see that sport growing a lot more now. I mean, even Bali has a whole new facility you guys get to play at.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the growth of beach volleyball as a sport, as an athletic sport?
Well, here at Cuesta, our courts are new to us. They've never been played on, so it's not like the sand that we usually play on. But playing at Cal Poly is definitely a treat because the sand is so much more dense and it's nice lighting. And, yeah. So.
Yeah, definitely. I feel
so sand isn't just sand. You have to have good sand. You have to have the lighting's got to be perfect. All those other things have to happen.
Yeah, but I think it's so awesome how beach volleyball is getting more incorporated into things and becoming more popular because it's just super good. I'm starting to enjoy beach volleyball more than indoor. So.
The sand's a lot softer and all those other things.
And you get tan, so a whole bunch of pluses.
Now, so with the way beach volleyball is going, it's almost become a year-round sport now, volleyball. So it's like we kind of watched the cross-country kids were on the last time, and then they transfer in track and field, or water polo and swimming and all those type of things. So it kind of keeps you more involved in a lot of ways. Is that you enjoy being the real year-round athlete?
Yes, I'm enjoying it. It's been really fun, and I mean, last year since we did not have beach volleyball, we did have beach volleyball, but we did indoor and beach.
Yeah.
But
since sneaky beach.
Yeah, sneaky beach. Yeah, exactly. But now that we have beach volleyball, it's super fun because I don't know. There's just so much different things to work on in beach compared to indoor, and a lot of more thinking that's going on too. Just being a smarter player. So. Yeah.
So. With beach though, that thinking and stuff like that, you gotta really have to feel with your partner, and you guys have mixed around a little bit. What are you looking for a partner? I mean, you have a special skill set as a setter. You have a special skill set as a libero. Where would you match up best? What are you looking for?
Well, both of us were obviously like not super tall,
Right.
but
you can pass well and
yes,
you can dig
exactly.
everything. So.
Yes. So we especially probably look for like a good hitter, and we're more like smarter players. So like good little pokies over, little cut shots. So what we want in our partner is just someone that's gonna be able to like smash the ball down and get a good block. So.
Yeah. I love to play defense, but it gets exhausting when you can't put a ball away. So I love being paired with a good hitter that can do that for me. And then we can both like try to pick up where like defense lacks or anything like that. And,
So as a libero coming out, and then
Setter back.
Setter back. Are you? What is your offense kind of like? I mean, because you guys are both not really offensive players. So what the blocking and all that stuff, how do you guys work around that? Just making sure it gets deep and put them where they ain't type thing?
I'd say for when like the other team is like serving at us, I like for the other girl to like, if she can get the first pass, then awesome, so that she can get the first attack as well. But it's just been fun though too. Like I've definitely shined like in being like, as I said, smart player, working shots and everything. So it gets me points. So it's been good.
Yeah.
I say same for you too.
Yeah. My partners and I have been working on a lot of over and two. So usually you serve at like the weaker hitter. So I'd be like the weaker hitter, and then I'd pass it like pretty like tight to the net so that my hitter can just hit it without a set. So yeah. Or as a defender, if we do get set, we'll try to poke you short, deep, or anything smart really.
A lot of talking, more talking than. There's a lot of talking with indoor, but especially with beach, it's just the two of you, so you have to cover the whole entire court. A lot of things that are going on and watching for, especially on the other side of the team, what are their weaknesses that you can just work on them and to get those points. So.
Yeah. So kind of the difference between you were just talking about the team and just the two of you guys. Do you guys have all mixed around this year a little bit? Have you really found? That there's certain people you gel with, certain people you communicate with? That's kind of a lot of mix and match in there.
No, totally. I'd say there's been like one girl I've been playing with more so than like other girls, so we have like a good bond. Like we're able to like know what each other can handle and can't handle. But I say overall, like I've been getting along well with everybody. So like on the court, not like you know what I mean, but.
Yeah. I mean, skills-wise, like, we have everything, like, but I think what a good partner is really just being open-minded or just always going for the ball, communicating what you need, and just supporting your teammate. So that's all I could ask for a partner.
Madelyn, I'm going to ask you a question, because there's no real stats in beach volleyball. It's just like win or loss, what's the score. But you have, the one stat that's the most important is your team was the first one to win a match in school history. So you're kind of going to go down in history. How do you feel about that as the first person to win a match for Cuesta College?
It was definitely a cool feeling being like a new program, and we had never won before. And I think just like my partner and I, like always fighting for that, like during that game, it really like showed hope, I think, for our school. Well, not, but like, and then like all of our other teams started winning, and so like.
You broke the die. It all happened after that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Alexis, Madelyn, for joining us here on Cuesta Sportsman. We'd like to thank Madelyn Freeman and Alexis Waltz for joining us here at Cuesta Sports Monthly, and we hope they have enjoyed their time on the beach. We're up next with Cuesta College. It's going to be track and field with Cuesta Sports Monthly returns.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
And we're back now with Cuesta's track and field team. Grace Gutierrez and Nick Moore join us here at Cuesta Sports Monthly. Welcome, Nick. Welcome, Grace. Season's kind of mid-swing right now. How are you guys feeling as the season progresses right now? Nick, how's it going out there in the lanes?
It's going pretty good. personally, I'm battling a little bit of injury, but outside of that, it's getting pretty intense and we're training at a pretty high level. So far it's going pretty good. We have a pretty stacked team, I'd say, this year. So.
I agree.
So midway through the season here, you kind of hit the bumps, but it's kind of going to get you ready for the end of the season, you think?
Yeah,
we're strong.
Ramping up intensity, so we're definitely building a lot of strength and ready to start going into our conference meets and everything, and we'll see how we do.
All right. Now, Grace, you came back last year getting second in state. You've already been close to those numbers now. How are you feeling about the season? How's it progressing for you?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I'm already like jumping how I was last year in the state meet, so feeling pretty confident. Hopefully it stays that way.
All right. So as the season's progressing right now, you've been doing mostly high jump, but sometimes you jump into long jump a couple times. Are you going to try and do one or two other events, or expand yourself, or are you just going to kind of stick with your discipline?
Yeah, so I wanted to expand myself a little bit, but triple jump is like really hard on the legs, and long jump as well. So I don't know if I'll be able to do both and still do good in high jump.
What was it that brought you to the high jump?
Well, I've been doing high jump since like middle school, when we did like little track meets in middle school and elementary school. So I've always just loved it, and I wanted to continue doing it at the college level.
Now, Nick, you're a pretty versatile athlete. You like mountain biking, running, and doing all those things. Was cross country just something natural for you? You just got to get the energy out, and then when did you realize you needed to run?
I started off in football 8th grade and freshman year. I did track 8th grade, and I had a pretty decent mile. So my PE teacher at the time, which was also our track coach, was like, hey, come out and do track. And then I did it. Freshman year, I did track again, and then I realized once I ran like a good mile time freshman year in track, I was like, I should keep running. So I quit football and then did cross.
All right.
So
you kind of get that, you got that runner's high that everybody talks about?
Yeah, I liked football a lot, but I think once I realized that I was like decent at track, I was like, this is a lot more fun than football. I don't know. I really enjoyed like logging in long miles and running with friends, and we would just goof off because we're cross-country runners, and it just made it a lot more enjoyable of a sport, and then I just stuck with it.
So cross-country, I mean, rather than in the lanes, cross-country would be preferred just because, well, you get to see stuff, but you also had that pack mentality a little bit more than you would in the lanes, you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more of a pack mentality, especially like I know in high school a lot we raced pretty tactically, like with teammates, and so like you'd run with your teammates for first part of a race, and you can kind of go off there how everybody feels. And I like you said, pack mentality. I really liked running that way, like competing with my teammates, but it's also individual at the same time. So I thought it was a pretty fun way to
kind of the loneliness of the long distance runner versus having that pack.
Yeah, exactly. You're out there running your own race, but you're still running with people tactically, and make moves based off your teammates and people you're competing against and whatnot. So,
all right, now Grace, you like we said, you got second in state last year. What kind of do you bring back after that? What did you learn from that experience from last season as a freshman, and getting those high levels there?
I think I just learned to stay dedicated and really work on more than just like athletic wise, but also like school wise, and making sure like my grades are good so I can stay eligible. And this year has been a lot different. We're doing more like capacity work and lifting, so I think that's really helped everyone so far, and I think we're all improving pretty well.
All right. So, last year's the women's team was a little bit smaller. It seems to be a much bigger group.
Yeah.
And same the guys. I think Coach Neely finally got a little time under his belt and got to go get stuff. What does that feel? Last year you guys were a little smaller group. Now it's a little bit bigger group, and at the end of the season it's going to be a small group again. But what's it like having all those people out there, all that kind of stuff? Is there a lot of camaraderie? Is there a lot of support? Is there just kind of like everybody's just doing their own thing? Because you say track and field team. I just want to see where the team kind of area is.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of different event groups all working on the track. Some have like capacity or strength work. Some will have like a workout. Some will have an easy run. Like it just depends. But we definitely like Tuesdays, for example, it's pretty busy on the track. Neely sits us down before every practice. We have a little meeting, and like every single Tuesday, it's like, watch out for the track, look both ways, like don't get hit by someone sprinting down lane 3. So in terms of like the size of the team, it definitely like impacts a tiny bit, but it's more fun that way. Obviously, we score more points. But yeah, it's pretty fun like doing a workout on the track like on Tuesdays with distance, and then seeing sprinters like fly past you, or like you'll run past the jumpers jumping into the sand pits, and it's pretty fun to see the mix up, you know.
Kind of like everything's happening all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. We have a lot of support, like people are doing different events. So when I see distance running, I mean, distance is really hard. I don't applaud you for that, but
Unless something's chasing you, why would you do
yeah,
that,
right? But yeah, so I always cheer on the distance people because I know that's really hard. And everybody's just very supportive. Since we have a big team, when you're not doing an event, you can go watch somebody else and cheer them on, and they'll do the same for you.
So
That's
it's
great.
really kind of it is. I mean, it's a team,
Yeah, it
but
is.
it's a real kind of everybody's in for everybody the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. When we get down to the end of the year, the team does get smaller. So what does that kind of do for you guys mentally? Is that going to kind of, you're just totally focused on what you're doing, or?
You want to go?
Yeah, I think that it doesn't really do much for me mentally because I'm just focusing on my performance regardless, not really like if I have people there cheering me on. But it is good. It's like nice to have people there, but I always have like my coaches, and sometimes my family comes out to the away meets. So I still have like support, and normally, yeah, I have like my good friends are also.
So it helps. I mean, being a local student from Napomo, you kind of got an extra
Yeah.
support system. What about for you, Nick? Are you coming in all the way from Calaveras County? What's it like coming in here to Cuesta as a new school? I mean, Cuesta, I think the last numbers were 60% of the students are from outside of the county, which kind of makes it kind of, I've always thought, because I was a student who came here from outside of the county, it always kind of felt like it had that small college feel while still being a community college. I didn't know if you felt that same kind of feel.
Yeah, I mean, back home, the community college is also very small.
13th grade type thing?
Yeah, it's like, it's more so like a
That's
trade
understandable.
college. Like, people will go there for like firefighting sciences and do EMT stuff, and then other than that, there's not really, I think we have a basketball team, but I'm not sure of any other sports up there. So I was like, I'll come down here and, you know, live the Central Coast life and compete in track, and I really like it compared to up there in the mountains because there's a lot more opportunities down here.
So coming up after this, are you going to try and stay in slow, or are you going to kind of at least stay on the coast? Is that right?
Yeah, I was ideally going to transfer to Poly, but I'm reaching out to Chico, maybe going to go run there, or I'm going to go to the private school down in Thousand Oaks, Cal Lutheran.
All right, yeah.
I go weigh at my options first, but ideally I'd like to run for Chico, which would be kind of fun because it'll be like 3 hours from home and back up in NorCal.
You can go back and get a meal if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Grace, I'm just going to put this on you, that the high jump record is like our oldest women's record.
Really?
And you're right behind it. It's
I know.
since 1978, so I'm really hoping you're going to break it out there for
I'm
us this year.
trying to. I'm really trying to get
All
that.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Grace Gutierrez and Nick Moore. We wish them the best in their endeavors as they chase the state title. Now, when we come back at Cuesta Sports Monthly, we'll be talking to the head of the Cuesta Foundation, Shannon Hill.
This program is produced by Cuesta Broadcasting. Start your radio, TV, and film career at Cuesta College.
Welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly for our final segment. Of today's show, we are joined by the head of the Cuesta College Foundation, Shannon Hill. Shannon, welcome back to Cuesta Sports Monthly. It's been a couple years, and so I know we got you pretty early in your career here.
Did.
How are things been going the last decade or so?
Oh, well, I think so. Since I hasn't been here since 2004, there's been a lot happening. College passed a bond. The Promise program went from 1 year to 2 years. The foundation celebrated its 50th anniversary just last year, and we passed the $50 million mark in our assets. And let me just share, we gave $1 million out to students in aid for the first time ever in the history of the foundation just last year.
Now, what was that aid based on? Was that just?
It was about $500,000 of it was for scholarships, $400,000 for the Promise, and about another $100,000 in emergency aid awards and other support to students.
So with the Promise, almost everybody can attend for nothing.
Well, yes, but you do have to be incoming graduated senior from the county. We don't poach from out of our county, and you do have to do a couple of steps. Especially ones that are like related to like the FAFSA or scholarship application, orientation, and picking your classes, that type of thing. But yes, you get 2 years of free college on the Promise.
Well, I wouldn't have worked for me when I was a student, but I think that's a great thing to have.
It is. I mean, considering everybody with
As
the
a
student
father
loan problems.
in this county, I think that's one of those things we can really look forward to.
Absolutely. I have a kid myself, and I knew that I wanted her to come to Cuesta as well.
So okay. So what are some of the exciting things that the foundation is doing? That's great right there, but what are some of the things? Are you still working with the bond people, or is that just kind of out of your hands?
Well, we are always supportive of bond projects at Cuesta as the buildings come up. We often get offer support and naming opportunities for those buildings, usually to pay for things the bond doesn't pay for, like equipment, computers, furniture, things like that. But we are, we just kind of keep track of how things go. I'm also in charge of the marketing of the college, and so that side of the house really tries to keep in touch with progress of those new buildings and programs, as well as keeping up the website and ways to communicate with the community. I would say that we're just trying to plug along to make sure that we're filling any gaps that the bond might have, and it was $275 million, which you think is a lot, but it does not go a long way with inflation the way it is.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of projects going on campus. The big administrative buildings going on, and a lot of things happening. And eventually, everybody will get back to their own places or a new place, right?
Right. Well, we're in a little modular right now, which makes us a little sad. But I can't complain because, the president's in a modular and other people. So we're looking forward to 2025 and late summer when we hope to move in there. Fingers crossed.
Well, but you're also a little bit closer to the athletics facilities, and I know you're an athletic person.
That's true.
So is that kind of if you need to step out, you can get out there and do that a little bit.
Absolutely. I love visiting our team over in marketing because I do have to walk right past the pool and everybody else on our way over there. My background is being an SEC and Pac-12 girl, so I am very familiar with the strength of athletics being the front door of the college, and I do support the athletics programs quite a bit.
And this is not on my questions. This is not something I thought about. I just thought about this just now because we'd had this conversation earlier in the day with beach volleyball. Beach volleyball was not on the radar at all prior to the bond, and so now that facility's been there for 40 years almost, and we're talking about it that would need to be upgraded for them to be able to host a home game there.
Right.
And so that was kind of one of those things we were talking about. I guess sand gets old.
Yeah, well, I think for that space, if you've walked by it after the recent rains we've had, the drainage is the issue.
Yeah.
But the bond we passed in 2014 did support the athletics program in multiple ways, including the new pool, the gym floor, all sorts of, the track got redone. But I would say that if we go for another bond in the next few years, we would need to take the next steps to do things like maybe bathrooms out in some of the softball track area, just things that we need, lighting perhaps, things that we can engage the community on more. But that is totally up to the trustees and the administration. So hopefully there will be other ways that we can find support.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to blindside you on that one.
No, you're not blindsiding me on that. I have ideas. I just, It takes a village.
So being in San Luis Obispo, it's relatively a smaller community, but what are kind of the pluses and minuses of being in San Luis Obispo and being fundraising and those type of things?
That is an excellent question. I would say San Luis Obispo itself, it is a smaller community, but it is a fairly well-off community with quite a few people who move here to retire, who really value education. And we actually have quite a few donors here that are from out of town that moved here, and they went to community college. And so they really value the mission of starting out in a community college, even if they did go to 4-year and beyond schools. And so they want to give back, to give that chance to other students coming up here where they're living now. Especially if, say, they're a little bit older and they see that we have a fabulous nursing program, they definitely want to support that to make sure that, or our paramedic program, they'll make sure they get taken care of. But, it's interesting. People ask me too if Cal Poly is a competitor of ours because they have a lot more people fundraising than we do. They might have some, we have competition sometimes with some of our local businesses, but our alumni are different, and quite a few of their alumni come from out of town, go back to other places. They're national, they're international. Most of our supporters are local in the county, and so we just maintain those local relationships and work together to build a workforce and create opportunities for student success.
Now, sometimes in smaller communities, they'll really get very high school focused. I mean,
right.
There's some towns here. It's all about that high school, and they sell out football stadiums on nights. Is there a way that you see that some of that enthusiasm could come here to Cuesta again, or?
You mean as far as attendance in sports?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I really think we have a lot of room to grow there. Absolutely. There's different things that we can do as far as promoting. I think we need to get our employees supporting as well. I think if people who work here who know our student athletes bring their friends and family, if we can get our local businesses who support student athletes to bring their employees out, if we really create some dynamic opportunities. Maybe if we have you doing like singing during halftime shows, I don't know, or have Bob Mariucci doing like a tap dance or something, I think we can really get people out and entertained. So.
Well, I know there's a lot of people from outside the area who come here. I was a student who came here. I know my dad told me a couple years ago when he says, how are things going there? I give money every year. And I said, I didn't know that. Why were you giving it to my athletic program?
Right.
But who got to him first, I guess.
Well, it happens sometimes. I guess I have more fundraisers than you do. I will say I was at a recent basketball game, and somebody walked in with a box, and someone said, oh, look, there's donuts. And I'm like, those are not donuts. Those are Smith's cookies from Bakersfield, and I know exactly where those came from. So I do, and it was the parents of a student that was on a team, and so definitely know those people from out of town come over here and really support their kids when they're from out of town, for sure.
So you really have a lot of connections all over the county, all over the place. With regards to the competition with Cal Poly, is it different, or is it kind of like are they or you can kind of piggyback on them? Is that there are pluses and minuses?
I would say that there are some. They do have a lot of support from outside of our county, which we don't have that reach. Where, as I said, we're more focused and resourced to stay in town.
Well, I thought that was because, especially in athletics, because it's about 70%. So many of our students are from outside. I didn't know if that was. You kind of get that small college feel. I guess.
True, but I would say that we've been adding different opportunities for our coaches and teams with crowdfunding and other direct support opportunities for families and friends who do live out of town. So we're really looking forward to expanding that reach.
Well, I'm looking forward to you expanding it too.
Yeah.
I hope it benefits us all. That concludes today's edition of Cuesta Sports Monthly. We'd like to thank today's guests, Grace Gutierrez, Nick Moore, Madelyn Freeman, Alexis Waltz, and of course, Shannon Hill for joining us here. Remember to stay up to date with your Cougars. Visit the Cuesta Athletic website at cuestaathletics.com. This show is produced at Cuesta College by the Cuesta Film, Television, and Electronic Media Department as part of the Cuesta TV project. I'm Peter Schuler, and for all of us here at Cuesta College, thanks for joining us, and thank you for your support of Cuesta Athletics.